guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making this video is going to be the video I am the most excited to make on my channel, like ever. I'm pretty sure even in the future I'm gonna have been the most excited in this particular video. This art supply that is inside this cardboard box. I'm not excited about the cardboard box, although cardboard is exciting, but I am excited for the art supply inside this cardboard. I've wanted this art supply for ages, and I thought, yeah, I don't get it in my city. I was gonna ask somebody to get it for me from outside my country, but I did find them, and I'm so excited. So excessively excited. You guys don't get it. Like, I'm very, very excited. Anyway, just so that you guys know what I'm talking about and that it's not actually cardboard, let's take it out. It is color pencils. It's a pack of 36 Faber-Castell polychromo color pencils. Like, you guys wouldn't get it. Like, my entire childhood, these were what every cool kid would have. These 48 classic color pencils set, and if you had this, you were immediately the cool kid in the class. I know it might seem weird, color pencils and cool, that doesn't make sense, but you were from grades 1 to 5. So I usually had the 36 or then the 48 color pack, and I used these to the core. My old color pencil kits, like my old color pencils, the sets are like tiny. The pencils, I've used them so much that they've shrunk and become minuscule. Like, from grade 1 to 4, my art was basically in color pencils because I didn't really dabble in paints that often. So color pencils were what I used to use. I used these a lot. Then when I started watching art YouTube and started getting into more artsy kind of stuff, I realized that there are more pigmented, better quality, like softer lead kind of color pencils that are made for like artist grade, because these don't blend very well. They're like harder lead, obviously they're for kids. The first set that I got was not a Faber-Castell. I recently found out that it's actually Faber-Castell, not Faber-Castell, which is slightly embarrassing considering that I draw and paint a lot. But the first set I got, I was 4. It was these thick triangular color pencils that my mom got me, and since that day I've loved color pencils, but I've never actually used them in like a proper piece. The only piece that I really use them for is this Gryffindor common room drawing. I'll like put a picture of it sometime later in the video. But that's the only proper thing I've done with color pencils, and then over time the lead faded and the pigment faded, and then it didn't blend that well, and I really wanted to get some, so finally. These were expensive. These color pencils were not what I expected them to be. They were, yikes, I don't even want to say. But I'm so excited to finally be using these. I know this is a very long intro and a lot of you have probably stopped watching by now, but if you're still around, thank you for being around. I'm gonna start by swatching all of these, first seeing how the pigment feels, because I haven't done anything. These are all brand new. I've literally just pulled it out of the packaging. And then I'm gonna try and maybe do some shading, a bit of other swatching, and then we're gonna try and make a drawing with it. I'm so excited! I know I probably said that a billion times by now, but I am, so I'm gonna keep saying it. Anyway, let's get out my sketchbook and start some swatching. Okay, so we have my color pencils here, and I'm gonna just nice in calligraphy writing my color pencils so that I know and remember for the rest of my life. This is the first color pencils, proper artist quality color pencils that I got. This looks like one of those kids drawing videos where they have the color pencils on the set in the app and then the papers here. It's kind of cool. My calligraphy isn't the best, so please bear with me. Oh god, yeah, it's not good at all. This might be painful for some of you calligraphers out there to watch, and I'm sorry for that. I'm no calligraphy artist. Yikes. My hand shakes a lot when I write, when I do fancy art, fancy writing like this. So I usually don't do it. And if I do, it's not on camera, so I feel like I just screamed. Did I scream? Wait, we're almost there. Almost there. It would be embarrassing if I got the spelling wrong. Okay, yeah, that's enough calligraphy. I don't need to do any more of that. That's just right. Swatches that you can't see that. Okay. I'm gonna start with black. I'm gonna start from that side and move down. So here we go. Oh my god, this pigment. I'm gonna label each color as I go. Does this have a specific name? It's called Shwarz Black. What kind of a name is that? Okay, Shwarz Black. I'm gonna be learning some color names here. I'm gonna read them to you later after I'm done like swatching the whole thing. So right now we just skip to the time lapse, or else you guys will be listening to me drone on and on about every individual color and how pretty it is for a while. So let's just skip to the time lapse.
I actually knew that swatching could be this much fun. Like, the pigment just went down on the page so nicely, and it was so bright, and the gradients were so pretty. I was having more fun swatching. Like, I had the most fun swatching. Like, compared to even the final piece I did, this was the most fun part. Like, by far. I did learn some new color names. Venetian Red, Pompein Red, and a bunch of other color names which I didn't actually know. I mean, most of them I did know because I should know them, honestly. They're color names. And some I didn't. But honestly, it was just so much fun swatching.
Okay, I'm done with the color swatching. Took me like 5 minutes. But my hand is cramping up with the pencils. I don't use pencils that much. Anyway, we have Shwarz Black, Warm Gray 1, Warm Gray 2, Walnut.
Next, I figured I wanted to just do some color gradients, just have a different colors, see how that went. I did a red to yellow and then a blue to green. I also did 2 spheres, one kind of like black color gradient and the other one with yellow, just to test the whole blending.
Okay, so now I have my spheres and my color thingies. Color blends, the gradients. Now I'm gonna attempt something I've seen a lot of artists do. I'm slightly scared to do it myself, but I'm gonna try and color a paint blob. Like, the reason I actually wanted to get color pencils in the first place was because I saw this artist who was making artwork out of paint blobs, like drawing paint blobs with color pencils, and they were so hyper realistic that I wanted to try it myself. And now that I finally have it, you know, let's see if I can manage this. I know it's kind of probably higher end and more difficult, but I'm gonna try and let's hope that I can manage it. Let's go. So clearly, as the paint blobs didn't work out, I tried I practiced with the color pencil a bit more off camera, made this thing. I wish I'd recorded this, honestly, it turned out pretty nice. But now we're gonna move on and make like a nice big proper illustration. I've started out the sketch. I'm gonna finish up the sketch and then we're gonna start coloring.
So I decided let's just take things one at a time. Let me just do what I've already sketched out. and I quickly realized the stark difference between color pencils and paints, and like, you know, the difficulty of covering a dark area, and just the massive change from paint to color pencils. It was just huge. Like for me, I've literally just painted for most of my, like the part where I've enjoyed art, I just used paints. So I struggled big time. My brother said this person's head looked like hair. I mean, no, sorry. Wait, no. He said it looked like a fig or a donut. It's not actually hair. Once we get further into the piece, I'll explain what the concept behind it was. I was trying to make something a little conceptual, maybe. Thought that would help me. I don't know, you guys tell me if it did or not, eventually. Well, so far, just let you guys understand what's happening. It's a person looking at a laptop screen. I hope you can tell it's a laptop. I was slowly realizing how much I would have to do to kind of bridge the gap between the color pencils and paints. There was a big gap. Even doing this tiny bit took so much effort and so much energy. I was tired at this point. Like there's a lot of points during this video where I had to just take a break. I enjoy doing artwork in a long stretch of time, like just maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, have some nice relaxed art time. In this case, I was just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. But this was the boring part, so I want to get the boring part out of the way and then move on to the more interesting part, which please make sure that you watch and see, because what's coming up is a bit more interesting, kind of brighter, more colorful.
Okay, so I have this part done, and I've sketched out a few things in this thought cloud here. We're gonna be calling it thought cloud from now on. But I'm not gonna draw everything in first, because I get overwhelmed when I have too many things to color, and then I won't do every individual thing properly. I'll rush it, and then I'll kind of make a big mess, because then the colors will be kind of in a big weird mess. Like it went with my shoes. I'm just gonna use those as an example from now on. So to avoid that, and also to not overwhelm myself, I'm gonna go with a few objects at a time. We're gonna start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different objects. I mean, kind of, the leaves don't count as an individual object, but anyway, we just start here and then move forward with this. So, I should get started now.
I guess now would be a good time to explain what the concept here is. So basically, the topic was, what that I kind of chose for myself was my thoughts during an online class. And it is fairly fitting because school is starting very soon, which is why I've changed my upload schedule. It's going to be once every 2 weeks instead of every week, because school and YouTube together is a lot. Anyway, the concept here is like what stuff, like one of the most interesting parts of the day is online classes, not because of what's actually happening in the class, but because of what is going on in your brain. It's like you're sitting in front of the laptop, but you're not thinking about class. Every single student who has been in an online class will know you are never ever actually thinking about that class unless the teacher calls you and tells you to answer a question. You're never thinking about the class. So this is just an over-exaggeration of the stuff that's gone through my mind during classes. It's like I've thought about lemons, I'm watching YouTube, I'm thinking about the time and when the class will end. I'm not thinking about slushies, but it looks nice. It's pink. It's giving some color balance. I'm thinking about Pinterest. That's not the Pinterest logo, I know, and I did not eventually end up coloring it red either, but I do think about Pinterest. So. And then like, everything here is just in somewhere or another I've thought of it, or it's like an over-exaggeration just to have color balance up, but the whole concept is the craziness that goes through one's head when they're in a class.
Okay, so there's a bit of a problem I'm seeing. I think maybe it's the paper or something, but I can't, it's like, you can see it's getting whiter and it's becoming, it's not working properly. So I'm thinking after I finish each object, I'll just put a layer of liquid varnish over it to make sure that it doesn't keep blending out, because as I'm working, other stuff is just going funny. So I'm gonna get a detailed brush and start varnishing, because I need to keep my piece preserved. I cannot have it get destroyed before I'm even done. Okay, so I've covered everything with varnish and now it isn't coming off and the paper is stuck, so it shouldn't spoil anything any further. I'm not sure if I can work on top of, yeah, I can't work on top of the varnish, so I'm gonna need to be completely sure of what I've drawn before I cover it, otherwise I can't do anything more to it. So you can see it's all shiny now. Anyway, let's do the rest of the thought cloud. And yeah, we're just gonna skip the time lapse now.
If you guys have been watching my channel from before, then you know that this isn't my style. Drawing these many things together is something that I obviously find really challenging, which is another reason why I did it, because I wanted to get more detail into my pieces. This is more of like the Thelastcoffeebean's art style, and then this video style is kind of more a DrawWiffWaffles art style. If you don't know who they are, I've linked both their channels down below. They're really amazing artists, and they're like some of my big art inspirations. But honestly, I don't draw like this. This is not what I do. And this was so new to me. I've attempted it before, never on a video, but I've attempted it before and I found it really difficult. Honestly, it was just getting challenging.
Okay, so now it's day 2, working on this piece. And honestly, I've lost motivation for it, because honestly, my artwork, it does take long sometimes, but it doesn't take this long. And color pencils take time. You have to put in a lot of energy and effort and stuff. So I'm not 100% interested in this piece anymore, but we're still gonna do it. I still have to finish it, and well, let's go. I'm being so unenthusiastic right now. Anyway, let's just go.
You can clearly tell that at this point I've lost motivation. This piece is boring and I don't want to do it anymore. But I am doing it for you guys, for YouTube. And also because I did not want to leave an unfinished piece in my sketchbook. But you know, we're gonna say that I'm doing it for you guys. Anyway, now I had to wait a whole day to find something else to put in this top cloud because I didn't know what else to do. I am pretty happy with how the donuts turned out. Those are probably that, and then the lemons, and probably like the YouTube sign. My 3 favorite objects in this whole thing, even after the thing finishes. I was painting the most random objects. A jar of stars. What is that? Why? A green hat. You can clearly see that I'm running out of ideas and running out of options because I'm so over this. I started this video so enthusiastically and so happily. It's just funny what's happened to my entire mood. It's poetic and ironic. Let's see what other words I can find for this situation. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I have to open a dictionary or a thesaurus. Random rainbows, Mariah Elizabeth. You see, I'm influenced by you too. There's so many different artists that I like, and I just try to grasp at all of their different art styles at this point and just throw it into one picture, which didn't go well. It did not. I'm literally telling you this. I'm recording this audio way after I have done this piece, and because of this piece, I have lost my motivation to draw. I'm so sick of it.
I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but it's raining. It doesn't rain where I live very often. Can you guys hear it? Anyway, at this point I've reached a bit of an art block. I do not know what else to fill in these gaps, so I might take a bit of a break and then come back, because this piece isn't inspiring me anymore and I don't want to do it, but I have no choice. Anyway, it's getting darker as well. There's more clouds. I love rain.
Eternity later, I come back with some cherries and cupcakes and sunglasses to fill up the rest of this page. Try and balance out some of the red, the YouTube video, the YouTube logo's hoarding there. Balancing out some colors, adding some more stuff, doing I don't know what. Oh yeah, at this point I'm doing the line art. The most relaxing, calming part of the process, because I didn't have to think here. It was just mindless. And after doing so much mind work and brain work and so much attention requiring work, this was fun. And most artists don't like line work at all. Yeah, I skipped some of the background footage of the background because it was boring and you guys didn't need to see it. And this video is already 21 minutes long, which is fairly long for a video that I make. Anyway, the background kind of ruined ruined the entire thing that was going on there with a wonderful thought cloud. I was trying to make like a contrast between the light and the dark. I mean, it did work, but I didn't do it justice. I was trying to do the same thing that's done with paint to fill up larger areas and just bleh. Anyway, we're done. Just beating the tape off.
Okay, so we have the piece done. My first ever attempt with color pencils. And we keep in mind this is my first ever attempt with color pencils, so obviously it's not the best. I need to work a bit more on planning out my space, figuring out, like, because with paint, the thing is you can just spread some paint and kind of blend it and kind of make it look like there's something there, and it fills up empty spaces easily. But with color pencil, you can't really do that. You can see me attempting to do that here, kind of, which didn't really go so well. It's like I need to work more on managing space on a page, so that's something I'm gonna learn from this. This is like a message. Everyone has something to learn. You're not perfect at everything the first time you try it. This was more of a human kind of human. I'm making it sound like all my other videos are alien videos. No, like something that, you know, applies to everyone. You're not amazing at everything just the second you start or the second at your first try. It's not like that. You obviously have to work and just keep at it. So I will keep at color pencils. I'm not giving them up. But you know, I'm gonna take a break for a while, and we're not gonna see color pencils on the channel for quite some time. This video ended up being pretty long. It was more of a DrawWiffWaffles style video where I kind of reviewed everything and did swatches and then made a piece. And thank you for watching all the way to the end if you're actually still here. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed watching me play around with an art supply I've never ever used before. Anyways, bye.